Part 1. White Clouds. Great Tree Moon. 3 houses. The icy winds of the Agma Mountains have begun to scatter, and the verdant fields once again spring to life across Fodlan, heralding the start of a new year. As they celebrate the dawning year, the people pray that they may realize their full potential, just as a tiny sprout hopes to one day grow into a great tree. The continent of Fodlan, said to be protected by a revered goddess, has existed since time immemorial. 3 ruling powers now control the land. In the south lies a region long held by a more than 1,000-year-old dynasty, the Adrestian Empire. Beyond its borders, to the frigid north, is the home of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, ruled by the royal family and its knights. To the east, a league of nobles that heeds no king nor emperor rules what is called the Leicester Alliance. Once consumed by a tempest of war and turmoil, Fodlan and these 3 mighty powers now exist in relative harmony.
This will be your first time at the monastery. I'd be happy to show you around.
It really is Fodlan in a nutshell. The good and the bad.
Like it or not, we'll be there soon enough. There it is. Garreg Mach Monastery.
Is here.
I wonder, did the flow of time bring you here?
It's been years since I've last set eyes on this place. To be forced to see her now, I've never spoken of this to you before, but many years ago, I was a knight here. I reported to the Archbishop, Lady Rhea. As you know, the majority of folks in Fodlan are devout followers of the teachings of Seros. The leader of that ridiculously large religious organization is the Archbishop, Lady Rhea.
Thank you for your patience, Jeralt. My name is Seteth. I am an advisor to the Archbishop.
Right. Hello.
It has been a long time, Jeralt. I wonder, was it the will of the goddess that we have another chance meeting like this?
Forgive my silence all these years. Much has happened since we last spoke.
So I see. The miracle of fatherhood has blessed you. That is your child, is it not?
Yes. Born many years after I left this place. I wish I could introduce you to the mother of my child, but I'm afraid we lost her to illness.
I see. My condolences. As for you, I heard of your valiant efforts from Alois. What is your name?
You know what? Since Jeralt's staring at me like that, I'm just gonna blank.
You must at least show the basic courtesy of telling us your name. Do you not think you are being a bit rude to the Archbishop?
It is all right, Sedith. My dear, I am called Rhea. I am the Archbishop of the Church of Seiros. In truth, I was only being polite. I already know your name, and a fine name it is. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for saving those students of the Officers' Academy. Jeralt, you already know what it is I wish to say, do you not?
You want me to rejoin the Knights of Seiros, don't you? I won't say no, but
Your apprehension stings. I had expected that Alois would have already asked this of you. I must step away for now, but I expect they will desire a word with you soon. Please listen carefully to what they have to say. Until tomorrow, farewell.
I can't believe it. Forced back into the Knights of Seiros. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. Looks like I'll be stuck here for a while. And I'm afraid your services are requested as well.
I must work here? Ah, crud. As a mercenary, right?
Nothing like that. They want you to teach, by the sound of it. You heard those brats earlier talking about the Officers' Academy, right? Well, the Academy just happens to be short a professor. And apparently that damned Alois went and recommended you to Lady Rhea.
Gosh dang.
So, you must be the new professor. My, how stern and handsome you are.
And you were voiced by Ash Ketchum's original voice actress. Good lord.
No. I'm not the one you're looking for. You can handle things from here. Good luck.
I see, Jeralt. You're just gonna peace out. Gotcha.
And watch out for Lady Rhea. I don't know what she's thinking making you a professor like this. She may be up to something. Stay on your guard.
Okay.
Oh, it's you then? So young.
Competence and age are not necessarily correlated. As you well know, I am Hanneman, a crest scholar and professor at the Officers' Academy. I wonder if you bear a crest of your own. When next you have a moment to spare, I insist that you pay me a visit so we can delve into the subject further.
And you were voiced by the original voice of Igor in Persona. At least the Persona 3 and 4 Igor.
I'm Manuela. I'm a professor, a physician, a songstress, and available. It's nice to meet you.
I'll go for songstress.
Of course. Before I came here, I belonged to a renowned opera company. Perhaps you've heard of me? The Mittelfranc Opera Company is beautiful, peerless.
Spare our colleague the needless chatter, Manuela. Now then, it seems you'll be taking charge of one of the Academy's 3 houses. I expect you haven't yet been briefed on the nature of each, have you?
Do you really not know? Fine. I'll do you a favor and explain. The Officers' Academy is comprised of 3 houses of students, each of which is closely affiliated with its region of origin. The Black Eagle House is for students from the Adrestian Empire. Their house leader this year is Edelgard, the Imperial Princess, who is in line to be the next Emperor.
The Blue Lion House is for students from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Their house leader this year is Prince Dimitri. He is to be the next king of Fargus.
Lastly, there is the Golden Deer House, which is for students of the Leicester Alliance. Their house leader is Claude, grandson to Duke Regan, the leader of the Alliance.
To think that the next Emperor, King, and Sovereign Duke are all here. It certainly is a promising year for the Academy.
I'll say. I just hope none of those little treasures cause any trouble.
Quite. For now, I suggest taking a stroll around the Academy to get your bearings. And when you've a moment, please stop by my research laboratory.
The old man has a point. Oh, and keep in mind that I've only notified the house leaders that you're our new professor. It's more fun that way. I suggest you try spending time with the students. Some odd ducks in that bunch, but they're good kids. I'm sure Lady Rhea will have more information for you tomorrow, but that should get you going. Good luck. You'll need it.
Okay, then.
No intention of changing your mind, Rhea? Appointing a stranger, a child no less, as a professor at our esteemed academy is...
I have made my decision, Sedith. I know worrying comes naturally to you, but there is truly no need. That stranger is Jeralt's flesh and blood, after all.
I can't say that's all too comforting. How trustworthy is this Jeralt character? Is he not the man who went missing after the Great Fire 21 years ago? I would remind you that Flayn is now here with us as well. I beg of you, please consider whether this is an unnecessary risk.
Sedith, they have my trust. Let that be enough for you as well. More importantly, I have received a report from Shamir. I am increasingly concerned about a matter regarding our suspicious individual. We cannot ignore those who harbor ill will toward the Church, especially if they are frequenting Garreg Mach.
Yes, that matter is of great importance as well. I shall continue my investigation. Rhea, for now I will have faith that you are placing your trust with the utmost care. I pray that nothing occurs to shake that confidence.
Of course.
Okay, so for the first time in the whole series, we can actually fully explore in a 3D area. I know, it's great. Well, actually, wait, not the first time. Echoes did it. Okay, for the first time in the series, we have a hub world. There we go. Okay, Borsa, we have camera controls. Well, actually, Echoes have it. Anyway,
I assume
shut up.
you are already aware that you will be teaching here at the Officers' Academy, correct? To start, please speak with the 3 house leaders. You should also take a look around the academy and acquaint yourself with your new home. That is your first task here at the monastery. Please let me know if you accept it. Once you have finished, come and speak with me.
Okay, so let's view the quest and talk to the 3 house leaders, and if we complete this quest, we will get an iron sword, vulnerary, and some money. So there's no point in not doing it, because then you can't go on with the game. The quests can be given to you throughout the game, and yeah, there will be multiple quests for you to do. So, you'll talk to Eloise and Sedith.
Ha! I imagine you were a bit surprised that I recommended you as a professor here. Frankly, we had someone else in mind for the role, but they ran off during our dust-up with the bandits. Can't entrust students to someone who's abandoned them once before, huh?
You saved the lives of the students you came across. That, at least, was admirable. Now you should make the rounds. Go around the monastery and see that you greet everyone.
Yeah, this game is, like, fully voiced, which is really, really nice. Go to the first floor. No, the mini-map will be on the top right, and you can change its zoom with R1, and you can make it take up half the screen if you want. Give her one of those guys, and here's the reception hall. It's nice, isn't it? Too bad there's only like one person in here. Yeah, let's go talk to Edelgard.
So, you've accepted a teaching position here. Pity. I was hoping you would lend your strength to the Empire. I never properly introduced myself, did I? My name is Edelgard von Hresbalg. I am the princess and heir apparent of the Adrestian Empire. I wonder if you'll be tasked with leading the Black Eagles. I hope you've had a chance to meet everyone. Would you like to know more about any of the Black Eagles?
Yes. So let's go over Edelgard.
Me? Well, some think I'm a bit distant. Arrogant, even. But there's little to be done. One day, I must rise to become Adrestia's next emperor. What else? Well, it seems to me that we may have similar personalities.
Yep, and she has really good strengths in sword, axe, authority, and armor, but her weaknesses are in bow and faith, which really does check out. And her stats are overall pretty decent. And her personal skill is really nice because she gains more EXP faster. Except Hubert, the Severus Snape wannabe.
Is the heir of Marquis Vestra. He has served me since I was a child. You may think his blood runs a bit cold, but actually that's rather accurate. Still, if you can get past that, you'll see he's quite astute and reasonable.
So he's got good magic and decent speed and res, but everything else kinda suffers a bit with him, especially defense. And he's good in bows, reason, and authority, but he's bad in axes, faith, and flying. Crud. Then, Ferdinand von Aegir, the biggest meme in the whole game.
For some reason, he thinks of me as a bitter rival and is always trying to challenge me. It's terribly irritating. His house is that of Duke Aegir, which produces Adrestia's prime ministers. That family is perhaps too pleased with its own status.
Alright, Ferdinand is kind of the all-around kind of guy. No really bad weaknesses, but no great strengths either. But hey, he can be pretty darn good, and his skill confidence is pretty nice. And next up we have Linhardt.
He's remarkably intelligent, but he only wishes to apply himself to tasks that particularly interest him, and nothing else. He's also fond of, well, napping. If he had any work ethic or sense of duty to speak of, I suppose he would be destined to become an official of the Empire.
And he's good in magic and res, but everything else kind of suffers for the guy because he's meant to be a medic, especially with his personal skill cantrip, which if he takes no action, he'll restore 10 HP. And he's also got really good strengths in reason and faith, but also is bad with axes and brawling. I think I'm starting to see a whole thing with this. Anyway, next up we have Caspar, my personal favorite of the Black Eagles.
He's the second son of Count Bergles. He has no inheritance in his future, which is perhaps why he's always so eager to prove himself. He's overly energetic and rushes headfirst into any battle. If he ends up in your care, be sure to keep a close eye on him.
And he's got good strength and decent speed and defense. Everything else for him kind of well, he's also got okay dex as well, but and good luck, now I think about it, but he's horrible in magic, so keep him far away from that. Though physical classes are really good, and whenever he does combat, they have they lose 10 avoid. That's actually really, really nice. So he's usually gonna hit. Then there's Bernadetta.
She's Count Varley's only daughter. I suppose you could say she's a bit eccentric, but she seems like a gentle soul. I believe she's shut herself away in her quarters and doesn't care to leave, but don't worry, I'll make sure she finds her way to class.
So similar to Ferdinand, she's kind of a jack of all trades whenever you want her to be, but she has more weaknesses and classes, so she's less customizable compared to Ferdinand. So keep that in mind, because she's really good in bows and lances, but a lot of stuff can suffer for her. Yeah. Then we have my personal favorite female character in the Black Eagles, Dorothea.
Few commoners have joined the Black Eagle House, but Dorothea is an exception. She's a songstress from a famous opera company in the Empire. I'm not entirely sure what brought her to the Officers' Academy.
So she's good in swords and reason, but she's bad in riding, flying, and faith. Though her faith can be flipped around, though, due to another thing. But she's also really good in magic, has decent speed and res, and can suffer a little bit in strength. But overall, she's really, really good. And also her songstress ability is also really nice as well. So then we finally have Petra.
To the west of Fodlan is an archipelago called Brigid. Petra is the granddaughter of their king. Brigid is a vassal state of the Empire, which is how she came to be enrolled here. She's incredibly smart and studious.
And keep her away from magic because she is not proficient in that at all, but she is really, really good whenever you get to use her, like whenever she gets going. And I definitely recommend investing a lot into either her sword or her flying whenever we get around to that. And she's good in strength and speed, but, well, and dex and luck as well, but she starts to falter in other areas, especially defense. We'll get into that. So that's it for the Black Eagles. That only took a while. So can't go through there, so we gotta go to the right over here to the courtyard area. Ah, yes. Full-on academy area. It's nice. I see Caspar and Leonhard talking. So, let's go. Okay, I was gonna go to Claude first, but instead, let's go talk to Dimitri.
Please accept my apologies for the other day. You came to our aid, yet I hadn't even the courtesy to properly introduce myself. I am Dimitri Alexandra Blythed, Crown Prince of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus.
Not gonna lie, that name is sick as crud, especially the last name.
Of course, at the Academy, I am simply a student. And I've heard word that you are to become a professor here. Delightful news. I still have much to learn, but I'm confident I could benefit greatly from your guidance. In any case, welcome to the monastery.
Thanks, Dimitri.
Investigating the different houses here. Did any of the Blue Lions catch your attention?
So let's dive into all of the Blue Lions. So first of all, let's start off with Dimitri.
Me? Oh, please forgive me. It's difficult to open up on the spot, don't you think? I'm afraid my story has not been a pleasant one. I do hope that doesn't color your view of me, but I understand if that can't be helped.
So he has basically the similar, personal skill to Edelgard, and he's really good in swords, lances, and authority. On top of that, his strength is really good. Like, Dimitri has a really good strength growth and everything, and his defense is pretty nice as well. So he's overall the most solid of the lords in this game, I'd say. Okay, anyway, on to Dedue.
Dedue was born in Dusker, and has been loyally working in my service for the past 4 years. He's rather taciturn, but once you get to know him, you'll see he's a kind and good-natured young man.
And he's also, like, the best Armor Knight in this game, hands down, because he excels where Armor Knights should in strength and defense. So yeah, he's pretty darn good if you throw him into that. On top of that, don't put him on a horse, flying, or give him faith at all. Keep him in physical classes, he will annihilate. Then there's Felix.
Felix is the heir to House Fraldarius. He has a bit of a sharp tongue, but don't let that fool you. Deep down, he's a good guy. He gravitates toward people who are skilled. Perhaps you would enjoy a friendly competition with him sometime.
And Felix is, similar to Petra, is really strong, especially due to his crest, which increases his attack whenever he does just any basic attack. It'll just increase it by a bit. On top of that, yeah, even though it says he's bad in reason, don't let that give you the bad idea. He can also turn that into a strength as well, and he's also really good in any physical class. So yeah, Felix is a beast. Next up, we have Ash.
He's the adoptive son of Lord Lenato of Castle Gaspar, but I hear he was born a commoner. He has an extremely earnest personality, so I'm certain he will approach your lectures with great enthusiasm.
And he's also a good boy. And at the start, you can see he's a little bit on the average side, similar to Ferdinand, but his dex is really good whenever it gets going and allowing him to crit a crud ton. And his other stats do keep up as well. On top of that, he has the ability Lockpick, which comes in handy big time, because it can open up any chest on the field or any door that's in your way. He's really nice for that. On top of that, he doesn't really have any weaknesses aside from reason, so feel free to customize him as you see fit. Then we have Sylvain.
Sylvain is the heir to House Gautier. He is a capable person who highly values his friends. That said, well, he's always been a bit of a skirt chaser, so to speak. Pardon my bluntness. I speak with him about it often, but it doesn't seem to help.
Yeah, if you ever played Fire Emblem 7 in Insane, Sylvain's a little similar to him, but has his own unique crud. And is kind of tragic in some ways. Anyway, he's also got a personal skill, which makes it so whenever he's near a female ally, he does 2 extra damage and takes 2 less damage. And on top of that, his stats are pretty similar to Fern. Again, he's a bit of a jack of all trades, and you can use him as you see fit. But keep him away from bows. Not good in them, I think. To be fair, I've never really customized Sylvain out Cavalier, so I'm not sure how good he can be. Now we have the females, which there are only 3 of them in the Blue Lines, weirdly enough. So let's go on to Mercy.
I hear she was born to imperial nobility, but a twist of fate brought her to the kingdom. She may seem carefree on the surface, but she's actually a kind soul who pays careful attention to everyone around her.
And is really good in magic and speed, though her magic speed and res, though her defense can be lacking. And even though her strength is low, I do recommend you occasionally invest into bows for her, mainly due to one certain bow in the game that can come in really handy. And yeah, keep her away from other physical weapons though. She is not good in them at all. Though her magic is really good though. And her personal skill live to serve is fantastic. Anyway, now we're going up to Annette.
Annette is Baron Dominic's niece. She is a talented student who scored extremely high marks at the Royal School of Sorcery. She's cheerful and hardworking. Brilliant, really. Though she can be a bit oblivious at times. I hear she caused an explosion in the kitchen last night.
Yeah, Annette's pretty clumsy, though, she's also a magic-focused unit similar to Dorothea, but, unlike Dorothea who can go into swords, she can go into axes, which, weirdly enough, a physical build for Annette is weirdly viable. I've seen my friend Farah do it in his live streams, and it was incredible. So yeah, if you want to, go for it, but her magic is her biggest, strong suit. And finally, Ingrid!
Ingrid is Count Galatia's daughter. She is also a childhood friend of Felix, Sylvain, and myself. She is diligent, industrious, and principled. In truth, she is more knightly than most knights you will ever meet.
And Ingrid is great! Because she's meant to be focused either into, horses or flying, on top of having good strength and... not good strength. Well, her strength starting off is fine. She has problems with that. But more so, she's good in swords and lances as well, and there are plenty of good weapons in those. And she doesn't even have a weakness too, so hey, if you wanted to do a magic Ingrid, go for it, even though I think her growth in that is not that great. So hey, do whatever you want, I guess. Anyway, now we're going on to the final house leader, Claude. Hey, buddy.
Well, scored a teaching gig here, did you? Talk about a great first impression. I guess that means I'd better introduce myself properly. I'm Claude von Regan.
And you're watching Disney Channel.
I'm from the ruling house of the Leicester Alliance, but don't worry too much about all that madness. I'm guessing you don't know which class you'll be teaching yet, do you? I bet you'd like ours. We're not as difficult as the other two. Have you met the folks from the Golden Deer House yet? Care to know more about anyone?
Definitely. So the Golden Deer overall are very big mixed bag. And we'll go into that for a bit. But first of all, let's go into their house leader, Claude.
Piqued your interest, have I? As luck would have it, I'm pretty curious about you as well. But what's life without a bit of mystery? Let's just spend the next year or so learning about each other little by little.
So Claude is very, very good because he's got good stuff in flying, swords, bows, and authority, though has bad weaknesses in lance and faith, but those hardly matter because Claude can be very, very strong if you want him to be. And he also shares the similar personal skill to all the other lords, so he'll get EXP faster than everyone. So overall, really good. Then we got Lorenz. I don't like Lorenz.
Heir of Gloucester territory. If you haven't already picked up on it, he's a bit arrogant and fancies himself a ladies' man. That said, deep down, he's really devoted and honest. Though I wouldn't mind never hearing him talk about his noble obligations ever again.
Yeah, Lorenz is very, very odd. And weirdly enough, he can also, if you really want to, he can actually be another mage for the Golden Deer, who don't really have many. And he's a really decent jack of all trades, though keep him away from gauntlets. Yeah. And we have Raphael.
He comes from a merchant family, but his parents died in an accident. Seems like he's had a rough life. Despite all that, he's just about the most cheerful guy you'll ever meet. His passions are training, eating, and actually that's about it.
Yeah, and similar to Caspar, he excels in brawling and axes, but he also excels on heavy armor. But good lord, Raphael can hit very, very hard. He just can have issues in other fields as well. But he's good. He's pretty good overall, I'd say. Then we have Ignatz.
He's the second son of a merchant family. Since his brother will inherit the business, he's training to become a knight. If you ask me, it doesn't seem like he truly wants to be a knight. He's probably just doing it to please his parents.
And Ignatz can be pretty darn good as well. Again, pretty customizable. I'd recommend investing quite a bit into his sword and bow, mainly because that's where he really does excel at, and in those classes as well. And overall, he's just a pretty solid unit. Plus his personal skill, Watchful Eye, is really nice. Now on to the females, we're gonna have Lysithea.
Lysithea is the daughter of Count Ordelia, and is probably the youngest student here. But watch out, she gets angry if you treat her like a child. As for me, I do it on purpose. You have to make your own fun in this place, you know?
And even though I'm not the biggest fan of Lysithea character-wise, unit-wise, she is a monster, particularly due to her personal skill Mastermind, which doubles skill experience earned in battle, which means she can max out certain stuff, like certain skills very, very fast. On top of that, she's basically a nuke with her magic, and unlike Dorothea though, keep her away from any sort of physical weapon. She's really good in magic, really, really good, but unless you want a meme, stay away from physical weapons. Unless you want to go for bows, because I think she can do decent in that. Then we have Marianne.
Marianne is Margrave Edmund's daughter, and that's pretty much all I know about her. She doesn't interact much with other students, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of folks here have never even heard her speak.
Yeah, but she's also very, very precious. And if she's near it, so she restores 20% of her max HP at the start of with an adjacent cavalry or flying ally. That checks out hard. On top of that, she's really good in magic and is meant to be the medic of the Golden Deer. So overall, she's also pretty darn decent. On top of that, fairly customizable a bit compared to other magic units, because you can have her go for certain physical classes thanks to certain weapons like the Levin Sword using magic instead of strength. So yeah, and also you can just hit pretty hard overall. Overall, Marianne's really good. Now we have Hilda. Yay.
Hilda is the only daughter of Duke Goneril. It seems her father and brother coddle her quite a bit. If you look up lazy in the dictionary, her picture won't be there because she never got around to submitting it. Not too unusual for a noble, I guess.
And Hilda can be pretty darn good. Like, legit any physical class, she can usually do really well because her strength is really good, and her speed can be really good, and her defense can be a little lacking here and there, but it can also keep, depending on the class, it can be pretty good as well. And put her in axes, legit, she'll just kill a lot of crud with that. Yeah, that's basically it. And, well, I'd say it's it, but now we're gonna go to Best Girl. Yes, if anyone follows me on Twitter or anything, you all know I am a Leone simp. So let's dive into Best Girl.
Leone enrolled because she wants to be a mercenary. I think she said that her father is a hunter. She's pretty blunt and as stingy as they come. A habitual saver, too. I think she's hoping to repay her village for helping to send her here.
So Leone, even though she looks pretty average, like stat-wise right now, don't count her out. She can be incredible and an absolute beast of a unit. On top of that, she doesn't really have any weaknesses, though I'd still recommend to keep her away from magic because her magic pool is not good. Though any of the physical classes in this game, she will destroy anything. Good lord, she is incredible. And if she has a male, and similar to Sylvain, who has the female thing, she has the rivalry skill, which basically does the same thing as Sylvain's. So yeah, really, really good. Yeah.
I appreciate your effort.
And now we should probably return to Rhea, so... Yeah, we're basically done with every unit, so let's go. Why did I press continue exploring? Okay.
Me.
Wait a minute! It's you!
Greetings! You must be the new professor. What a pleasure. As for me, my job is to stand here at this glorious entrance and leisurely watch over the comings and goings of everyone. Make folks smile, you know? And by that, I mean to vigilantly guard this entrance with my very life. No levity whatsoever. As of now, nothing to report.
Thank you, Gatekeeper. You know, in my headcanon, he's secretly Alm in disguise because he shares the same voice actor as Alm. But now, let's go talk to all the Golden Deer first because they're the closest. So, hello, Lorenz.
You must be the renowned mercenary who rescued Claude. Honestly, you should not have troubled yourself over the likes of him. My name is Lawrence Hellman Gloucester. You will want to remember it.
You share your middle name with the stinking... Ah, crap, I'm trying to... I think it's a Mayo brand? I'm not sure. Anyway.
So you're the skilled mercenary who saved Claude, are you?
Oh, you are? It's such an honor to meet you. Ignatz Victor. My parents are Alliance merchants.
And I am Lysithia von Ordelia. Please do not forget it.
Okay. Now let's talk to these two.
Hey, are you that mercenary? Everyone's been talking about you. I'm Hilda Valentine Goneril, and her name is... Marianne von Edmund. Are you joining the Knights of Seros or something? Well, I look forward to seeing more of you.
Okay, Hilda. And she has a good first impression, but good lord, I'm not the biggest fan of Hilda. Anyway, that's gonna probably get me killed one day for saying that. Anyway, on to Leone.
Are you someone's guest? The dining hall's that way, if that's what you're looking for.
No, Raphael. That's Captain Jeralt's kid. Hi, I'm Leone Pinelli, Captain Jeralt's first and greatest apprentice. I'm sure he's told you about me.
Nice to meet you. I'm Raphael Kirsten. Who are you again?
Gosh dang it, Raphael! Okay, going to the Blue Lions. They should all be in here as well, so let's go to the Dew and Ash.
Hi there. You must be the one everyone's talking about. I'm Ash. Great to meet you. This here is Dew. He serves Prince Dimitri.
I have heard that you rescued His Highness. Words cannot express my gratitude. Should you ever require my strength, please know that I will hasten to repay this debt.
Alright. Hi, Sylvain.
Hey there. Are you the mercenary who saved His Highness? It's an honor to meet you. I'm Sylvain Jose Gautier. Feel free to say hi whenever you like.
I feel like this video is gonna go on for a while if I keep going, but I gotta do all these guys real quick.
I have heard all about what you did from Prince Dimitri. As a citizen of Fargus, I thank you.
He also said you're quite skilled. And he doesn't just say things like that. I look forward to sparring with you and beating you.
Okay.
Must you always speak of fighting right away? Oh, and, you may call me Ingrid. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And now, Mercedes and Annette.
And who's this? You don't look familiar at all. Do you work here at the monastery? Oh, mercy! Do you think this is that mercenary people have been talking about? Now that I think about it, that does sound like something Dimitri may have said. I suppose you'll be enrolling at the Officers' Academy too, then? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Mercedes, and this is my best friend. I'm Annette. It's nice to meet you.
Yee. So let's go talk to... Oh, let's go for Ferdinand and Bernadetta.
What? I don't talk to strangers.
Bernadetta, this is no stranger. Our house leader owes this person a great debt. Is that not right?
I am Ferdinand von Eyre, legitimate son of the Eyre family, the Empire's foremost house. Are you going to join our class? I look forward to getting better acquainted with you.
Yee. Ferdinand's great.
Well, aren't you just lovely? Is this your first time in the monastery? Shall I show you around? Oh, my name is Dorothea. Before I joined the academy, I was a member of an opera company in the Empire. You should hear me sing sometime.
And Dorothea is glorious, and I love her. Now on to Caspar and Leonhard.
Is it true that you saved Edelgard? That's incredible. The name's Caspar, by the way. Pleased to meet you.
Leonhard, goodbye.
Sheesh, Leonhard. How'd you get into the academy with those manners? So, are you a student here too? Maybe we'll be in the same class.
Yeah, Leonhard does not give you a good first impression, but he's good overall. He's a good character.
I am Hubert, a humble servant of Lady Edelgard. I heard you came to the aid of Her Highness. You have my most sincere thanks. This is Petra. She has come all the way from Brigid to study in the Empire. Back on her archipelago, she is actually a princess. In Fodlan terms, she would be called heir to the throne.
Hello, I am called Petra. I am pleased to be meeting with... I am pleased to have met you.
Alright, now let's return to the audience chamber.
How are you enjoying your time at the Academy thus far? I hope you have found our halls brimming with the vitality of well-intentioned souls.
I suppose it is time for you to take charge of one of our 3 houses of students. I must note that I am personally against entrusting someone as lacking in trackable history as yourself with such a task. But it is as the Archbishop desires.
The Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer. All so different. I hope you've made it a point to get to know each of them.
Since you are new here, we have decided to allow you first pick. Manuela and I will take charge of the remaining 2 houses.
But which house will I choose? Will I go for the Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, or the Golden Deer? Find out next time on Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Yes, I'm actually gonna do that to you all. Have a good day, guys. Bye. Gosh dang it.